ancient times, the original altar was used for animal sacrifice. Thank goodness we don't sacrifice animals and or virgins anymore on an altar to a deity. Today's altars, rather than being a sacrifice or an offering, tend to become a reflection. They honour the God, the goddess, the deity within us, our higher selves, our spirit. And we do that through statues or crystals or symbols to help remind us of our highest purpose, of our higher selves and our belief system. Behind me is a table of artifacts, statues and spiritual tools that reflect what I believe in, who I am and what I'm trying to attain. But there's something intrinsically wrong with this table. While I have got a sound bowl, the symbol of Tibet, shamanism, earth magic, earth animals, a crystal ball, a Chinese dragon and feng shui, Egyptian symbols and gods and goddesses, Buddha, crystals, the goddess Lilith, a goddess in the pagan sense, angels and a fairy. This is just a table of things. It looks pretty. It really doesn't become an altar until I create an intent. Altars are used predominantly for rituals. And every altar then has the ability to transform and become what it is that you are actually trying to achieve at that point in time. Certainly use your tools. The problem with having all of the things out together is that it's a bit confusing. You know, what do I want to do with this today? It has no intent yet. So the next step is, how do I set up a working altar? When creating your altar, there are a few things to consider. Firstly, the height. Even though altar in the Latin means high, it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be very high. If you're doing a ceremony or you want something that is at eye level, then you might want something higher. It depends on the work that you're going to be doing. Seated, my table is the perfect position for me. However, if I'm working with a group of people and we're all meditating at ground level, I might create the altar at ground level. It makes the connection a little bit more personal. The shape of the altar, I like my altars to be round, simply because I like the idea of a circle. There's no beginning and there's no end. There's no hierarchy to a circle. It feels universal to me. Mine is relatively small, which means it's portable. I can change the cloths and the colours when I want to, and it's just a little bit more easily manageable. But your altar is very personal, so you make it the way you want to. So for today, I have set out an altar according to the work that I want to do. And it's very simple. I've just used a few tools because my intention today is connection, peace and balance. So for me, there are certain elements that I need, and that's my favourite crystal. It always feels powerful and peaceful. It brings in energy and it reflects energy. Because I'm connecting to my crown chakra, to my spiritual energy, I have a symbol of a lotus flower on the table, and I have a lotus-shaped candle, which I will light. When you light a candle, It creates your intention to begin. I tend to use a candle snuffer simply because it helps to contain energies rather than blow them away. I will light the candles, creating my intent for the work that I want to do. Living flame is about life. It's softer, it's warmer, and it's natural. There's a symbol of the flame, that as the flame is lit below, so we light a flame above. Again, ritual is very, very personal. We create our own, sometimes we can follow some from books, but the emotion that we put into every ritual is very, very much our own and very personal. As we go through different rituals, different intents, I will show you some of the colours and some of the tools that may be used to decorate your altar. The interesting thing is that we unconsciously create altars around us and in our homes. If you're a football fan, you might have football memorabilia and your heroes and things like that. If you love entertaining, it might be a bar with bottles and glasses all lined up, a special place for entertaining. When you walk into someone's home, there may be an entrance hallway with a special table. It's a kind of an announcement of who you are, who you want to be, who you're projecting out into the world to be. There are all kinds of altars. If we have a special altar somewhere in the home, that's great. But if it's close to the hallway and you have a tendency to be tired and drop your keys or drop your mail or whatever it is that you've got in your hand, it's easy to clutter up your altar. So one of the things I will say to you is if you're going to have sacred objects on it and things that you want to, manifest and create, don't clutter it. Don't use it as a drop table or a drop mantle. Mantelpieces over our heaters or over our fires. I don't know whether people have mantelpieces anymore, but you used to have your special ornaments up there. It's a kind of an altar. Whatever you want your altar to be, make it yours and make it special. If you would like to know more, if you would like to share your ideas with other people, then subscribe to this channel and don't forget the Serene Spirit website.